Have you ever caught a giant fish that could impale your chest or capsize your boat? Many find it a worthwhile experience. This is the lucky fisherman, Ken Fraser, and the legendary bluefin tuna he caught off the coast of Nova Scotia. It weighed 1,496 pounds, even after drying out on deck for 10 hours. At the current average tuna price in the US, it would have been worth over $86,000 on the market. However, in 2019, a sushi chain in Japan paid $3.1 million for a 613-pound bluefin tuna caught off the coast of northern Japan's Aomori prefecture. This is because freshness is key in valuing a bluefin tuna rather than size. In Japan, fishermen tend to use longline fishing, with about 1.8 miles of baited lines to fish several giant tuna at once. Tuna is a strong and aggressive fish, so it can fight for hours. This could raise their body temperature and decrease the meat flavour. Hence, Japanese fishermen who fish bluefin tuna alone tend to use an electric shocker to quickly kill it underwater. Then, immediately after being brought on board, they spike its brains, cut its tail, and run a wire up and down its spine, because this is how tuna tends to heat up pretty fast. This is the traditional way to keep any dead fish fresh for longer, not just bluefin tuna, as it aids blood removal and treats nerve tightening. The fish is then thoroughly gutted to further accelerate cooling and prevent contamination, just in case the organs are damaged during transport. Finally, it is instantly frozen at -76 degrees Fahrenheit. This is how hundreds of giant tuna are guaranteed to be fresh for days and months on big longlining fishing boats. The Tsugaru Strait in Japan is renowned for its exceptional bluefin tuna, particularly during the winter months when the waters are teeming with smaller fish. At this time of year, bluefin tuna are prized for their rich, fatty flesh, and it's not uncommon to catch giants weighing over 661 pounds here. To capitalize on this seasonal bounty, when global tuna supplies dwindle, some brave fishermen worldwide risk their lives to go out, even when the wind howls at 43.4 miles per hour, or a finger might be lost to the powerful pull of a large tuna. Known to reach impressive weights of up to 1,432 pounds and lengths nearing 15 feet, swordfish is a prime target in the US and Japan. Here, premium markets can offer up to $22 a pound for top quality merchandise. Recreational fishermen in the US use rod and line method to catch swordfish. Anglers typically troll the live baits or artificial lures for hours, sometimes as long as 6 to 8, before they feel a bite, and that's when the fight begins. With lines capable of handling up to 800 pounds of force, fishermen use heavy-duty rods and reels designed to withstand the strain. While their bill is a prized commodity for anglers, it can also be a deadly weapon, slashing wildly during a long fight. Recently, this dangerous side of the swordfish has caused the tragic death of Italian surfer Gianluca Manfredi, who was fatally impaled by this creature while surfing off the coast of Indonesia. Swordfish can dive as deep as 2,000 feet in search of prey. These dives, typically into pitch-black waters, have led to a unique fishing strategy where nighttime is prime fishing time. As they rise closer to the surface to feed, fishermen use long lines, often attaching glow sticks to hooks, to catch the swordfish's attention in the dark. While one can fish swordfish and bluefin tuna alone, the fish I'm about to show you and even defeat the top bodybuilders and top NFL players. So of course, no one wants to risk fighting with it alone. This is the Goliath grouper, one of the strongest fish in the ocean, although its maximum record was just 818 pounds and 8.2 feet long. This monster fish inhabits the warmer waters of the Indo-Pacific, especially around the coral reefs of Australia, Indonesia, and parts of the South Sea. Anglers lower bait, usually fresh-cut fish or live tuna, down to depths of over 300 feet, where the Goliath grouper hides. Once hooked, the battle begins. Due to their powerful jaws and vacuum-like suction, the Goliath grouper strikes with explosive force, often making the first pull a life or death struggle for the angler. Its pull is so strong that it's been known to snap rods or drag anglers right overboard. Hence, Goliath groupers are typically caught using specialized hand lines or heavy-duty rods with lines capable of withstanding over 1,000 pounds of force. Fishermen rely on a special technique known as pumping and winding, where they slowly lift the rod and reel in the line during each small release, working against the fish's enormous strength over hours. With a market price reaching up to $100 a pound in 2023, a single Goliath grouper can be worth upwards of $80,000, especially in luxury dining markets across Asia and the US. There are still many unbelievable giant fish catches around the world, but I will talk about them in another video. Now let's check out other giant catches in the sea together. Often found along the chilly depths of the North Pacific from the coast of Japan to Alaska, the giant Pacific octopus is one of the ocean's most formidable creatures. It can stretch out over 16 feet and tips the scales at nearly 110 pounds. Did you know octopuses have the largest brains relative to their body size of any invertebrate? So they're very smart. There have been several reports of octopuses stealing fishermen's catches and other stuff from the sea. Hence, once caught, they have to be wrestled into a containment cage. One misstep could mean a bruising blow from a tentacle. Just like fish, they are also gutted immediately after being caught in order to preserve freshness. In recent years, individual octopuses have been auctioned in Japanese seafood markets for as much as $4,000. Similarly, the colossal squid can reach up to 45 feet in length and weigh over 1,000 pounds, comparable to a Harley-Davidson motorcycle in both size and weight. Unlike smaller octopuses or squid though, catching a big size one requires specialized equipment or seasoned divers who brave the cold, deep, murky waters to spot them. However, based on sperm whale specimens, scientists estimate there are only 4.3 million giant squids left in the world. Hence, commercial fishermen are only allowed to catch squid of this size using the jigging or rod and reel method. The United States is a significant consumer of squid, particularly in the form of calamari. While there is some domestic squid fishing in the US, particularly along the East Coast, the quantity is relatively small compared to the overall consumption. Most of the squid consumed in the US is imported from countries like China, South Korea, and Japan, which are three of the largest squid fishing nations in the world. In 2022 alone, China caught a whopping 1 million pounds of squid. Do you prefer to eat squid or octopus? Let me know in the comments below. The Japanese spider crab, with its astonishing leg span of up to 12 feet, wider than the height of a basketball hoop, inhabits the deep waters around Japan and the northern Pacific. It's the largest crab on Earth, making it a prize catch, with live specimens sometimes fetching upwards of $3,000. How do giant fishing ships operate at sea? This is a question that many people wonder when thinking about China's huge fishing industry. With a coastline of more than 14,500 kilometers, it is one of the world's leading countries in seafood production. Every year, millions of tons of shrimp and crab are caught and harvested from fishing grounds across the country. China's shrimp fishing grounds are very rich and diverse. The seas from the north, like the Bahai, to the south like the East Sea and the Gulf of Tonkin, are all important shrimp fishing grounds. Each of these sea areas has its own ecological characteristics, creating favourable conditions for shrimp to grow. Chinese fishermen use a variety of fishing methods in order to optimise shrimp production. Most of the catch comes from trawl nets. This is the most common method, often equipped on large fishing vessels. This trawl net is dropped to the seabed and dragged along by moving ships, collecting shrimp along with other types of seafood. In addition, modern Chinese fishing vessels are also equipped with GPS navigation devices, radar and sonar systems to determine the location of shrimp schools, helping fishermen catch more effectively. After catching, shrimp are preserved right on the boat in order to maintain freshness. Fishing vessels are often equipped with water tanks. This helps to preserve shrimp at the appropriate temperature. Shrimp caught from the sea will be fed into a widespread distribution system throughout China. Shrimp are transported from fishing ports to processing factories or seafood markets in the area. In October, in a place with the densest water systems in Jiangsu province, crab fishing boats begin operation. In less than a month, more than 40,000 tons of crab from Jiangsu will begin a distribution journey to dinner tables across China. Each crab usually weighs 150 to 200 grams. Due to its spiky structure of the crab shell, the process of removing the crab from the net is rather difficult. Fishermen must wear gloves in order to avoid getting injured by these sharp spikes. However, fishermen do not have to use gloves in the fall. This is because the crabs have just changed their shells at this stage, so they are very soft. When autumn comes early in northern China, the growth cycle of crabs is very short. Although crabs in this season are often small in weight, they have the advantage of hitting the market early and catering to impatient diners. Fishermen work intensely in temperatures below 5 degrees Celsius. Each time they transport a batch of crabs, the workers will rest. They will cook noodles with the small crabs that cannot be sold. Usually after resting, fishermen have to harvest crabs late at night until dawn. This is because this is the time with the highest catch of the day. In 24 hours, even the crabs living in the cabin will die from lack of oxygen. Therefore, fishermen will return to shore as soon as possible to distribute the crabs to the market. In the next few hours, these crabs will appear in restaurants. Shrimp fishing is a major industry globally with a catch of 34 million tons each year, especially in Asia. It is also an important part of Korea's maritime economy, using advanced fishing methods to ensure efficient and sustainable harvests. Bottom trawling is the method mainly used by Korean shrimp fishermen. Fishermen cast trawl nets along the seabed to catch shrimp. This method is popular when harvesting large quantities of shrimp and is commonly used in both coastal and offshore waters. Fishermen drag nets through the water column at different depths. This method may be useful in targeting shrimp species that do not live directly on the seabed. However, trawls are used selectively, depending on the species of shrimp and their behaviour. Modern shrimp vessels are equipped with advanced technologies such as sonar and GPS to more effectively locate shrimp populations. These technologies help fishermen optimize catches while reducing time spent at sea. The southern coast of Korea, including the waters surrounding Jeju Island, is known for its diverse marine life and rich shrimp population. The combination of warm ocean currents and diverse underwater terrain makes this area ideal for shrimping. According to the latest statistics, Korea's total shrimp catch in 2023 amounted to around 50,000 tons. Similar to fish or squid, shrimp fishing is also banned during specific periods of time. This allows shrimp populations to recover and reproduce. The fishing effort also creates additional jobs at processing plants where shrimp are processed for both domestic consumption and export. Korean shrimp is popular in the international market, especially in Japan, the United States, and European countries. How do Japanese fishermen catch shrimp to earn millions of tons each year? That is the question that many people ask when learning about this country's fisheries industry. With its long coastline and rich seas, Japan has become one of the world's leading countries in shrimp production. Japan's shrimp fisheries extend from the Sea of Okhotsk in the north through the Sea of Japan and to the Pacific Ocean, to the East China Sea in the south. White shrimp heralds the coming of spring. It is called the jewel of Oyama Bay. Japanese fishermen apply many advanced shrimp fishing techniques in order to optimize output and minimize environmental impact. The most commonly used tool is the trawl net. Modern trawl nets are designed to minimize bycatch of other seafood species. In the Northern Sea of Japan, fishermen use modern trawl nets to harvest up to 50,000 tons of lobster each year. Meanwhile, in the southern seas, the shrimp trapping method helps harvest an average of 200,000 tons of shrimp per year. Japanese fishing vessels are also equipped with GPS and radar navigation systems. This helps to determine the location of shrimp schools, helping to optimize the fishing process. Fishermen often store a lot of ice. After catching, shrimp are preserved right on the boat to ensure freshness. Modern Japanese fishing vessels often have advanced refrigeration systems, helping to maintain shrimp at ideal temperatures. Shrimp will be classified and placed in cold compartments to maintain their quality. Shrimp products after catching will be distributed to wholesale markets, supermarkets, restaurants, and retail establishments across the country. In addition, Japanese shrimp is also exported to China, where there is a great demand for seafood. Besides shrimp fishing, Japan's fishing grounds are rich and diverse with many types of crabs. The cold waters of the Sea of Okhotsk and the Sea of Japan are ideal for snow and hairy crabs, while the warmer Pacific Ocean is a habitat for many other species. In shallow seas, where crabs gather in large numbers, the trawl net is dropped to the seabed while the ship moves. It is designed to collect crabs and remove other types of seafood. After catching, fishermen will classify. During this process, crabs that do not meet the standards will be released back into the sea in order to preserve crab production in the next season.